Hey Scrappin' Ames fans, welcome back to a very long overdue process video. I have a 12 by 12 mixed media layout that you can see there. Using some white Kaisercraft cardstock. This is the smooth texture. I find that's much better for mixed media in particular. The other one that I have is a bit more rough and it's bubbly and just not smooth going. So as I said, I'm doing a mixed media layout. So first I'm prepping my cardstock here with some clear gesso, which I end up using far too much. So as you can see here, there's quite a bit on the page. What I do then is get my art journal out, and instead of wasting it all, I will smush it onto a page or 2 pages here. Which you'll end up seeing me use these pages in my next video. I made this really awesome, I loved it, art journal page. I hadn't felt like I've done some mixed media for a while. I've done a bit of couch scrapping, so don't really do mixed media on the lounge. But yeah, as you can see, just not wasting a drop because gesso is pretty expensive. So now my page is prepped, giving it a bit of a dry over with the heat gun. As you can see, supersonic speed here. I am using my Jane Davenport watercolours, so I've got both out here. Giving a bit of a spritz with my water, and as you can see, I'm just spraying the little watercolour tube squares, whatever you want to call them, and then dipping my brush as well in the water to clean the brush as well as to keep the water going. Now the photo I am scrapping, which I don't think I showed it, is just a picture of a beautiful rainbow at the last house we lived at. Had a nice veranda that overlooked the mountains here in Canberra. And yeah, so I'm sort of trying to go with a bit of a rainbow look. I did spray the cardstock as well with a bit of water just to prep it, just to make the watercolours work a bit better on the page and run a bit smoothly. The only colour I didn't really have was an orange. So as you can see here, I'm sort of mixing and matching some colours just to try and get a little bit of that colour. And singing the rainbow song, red, yellow, pink and green, purple and orange and blue in my head as I was painting. The other thing here, you can see I'm using a bit of a fan type paintbrush just to add some different splatters using the colours that I have painted the rainbow with, just to give it a bit more of a mixed media messy look. I felt like really getting messy when I did this layout. So it took me a bit to work out what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to do a cut file. I didn't want to just do a plain background. I did have some thoughts around, there's some really nice rainbow papers I know in one of the Cocoa Vanilla collections, but I just felt like getting messy, so that's what I did. So as you can see, I am letting that dry a little bit. I did give it a little bit of a zap with the heat gun, then I let it dry naturally, as best as possible anyway. It's not too heavy a paint, so it doesn't take that long to dry. So I thought while I am, as you can see, backing my photo, using some different coloured scrap bits of cardstock from one of my Kitaholic kits, I just waste not, want not, really. And this cloud paper I thought was absolutely perfect for backing this. But as you can see, it didn't go all the way, and I'm cool with that. I thought, why not add a couple of different layers in different sort of positions just to add a bit of texture and a bit of pop to the photo as well. I had thought about doing a white border first and then thought, nah, I wanted something a bit more colourful. This green one I wasn't sure of, but then in the end I actually really like it. It matches really well in with the colours of the photo because there's lots of trees. As you see, overlooking the veranda out onto the mountains. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might have been pre the really nasty bushfires we had here in Australia in 2020, the beginning of 2020. Because I think the mountains are still looking pretty green and luscious there. So just all my layers are done. I contemplated putting a doily, but changed my mind. I wanted to keep the rainbow popping and visible. So just adding some adhesive craft foam. I get this from Spotlight here in Australia. It comes in a bit of a pack. I think the bigger pack, I think it's about 60 sheets. I think it's about $20, $15, I don't know, something like that. Haven't had to buy it for a little while, so yeah, makes it a bit easier. Now, again, because it's a mixed media background, and especially because that gesso's on there, I am using my wet glue, which I fight with. It's great glue, but it always clogs after use. It drives me bonkers. But yes, so I think it's the Helmer's glue. So just placing my photo just in the center at the bottom, just again so you can see there's really bright colors at the top, just to make it really pop. Now I'm using some tags here. These are tags from Inky Quill's last month's printables, I think, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I think she used the jelly plate to do it. I'm actually wanting to maybe give it a go myself. But yeah, so there's all different sizes. So I'm just choosing the smaller ones and just going to layer some here just to start a cluster on this side of embellishments. And the bonus with this layout was I could use pretty much any colour I wanted of my embellishments because I've gone with that rainbow kind of theme. So it was pretty cool to be able to put it all together. And using some bits and pieces that are laying on my desks from previous month's kits, as well as printables and things like that I've got kicking about that I just wanted to sort of try and use up. I'm hoping to get more scrapping time in, so I'm using up more of my supplies. These stickers are gorgeous. They're Maggie Holmes, I think. However, getting them off is really tricky because they are really thin and flimsy, and I was worried that I would end up with my big Unco fingers rip the letters, but I didn't, so bonus. And I love the way the gold really pops on this page. I think I add some gold splatters. I did add some gold splatters in that Supersonic Speed process before when I was splattering the background. I think I added some gold as well just to really add a little bit of sparkle. Now, this big flower, originally when I saw these big flowers in the sticker sheet that we got, I was like, how the hell am I going to use these? But they came in really well, and I love the way that I had placed that here. I think it looked really, really good. As I said, I could use any colour, so the yellow went really well. Yellow is not something I seem to use a lot of, but I got it on this page. Just adding some more little bits and pieces to this side to the cluster. These are some stickers, again from a sticker book. I don't know if it's the most recent Maggie Holmes, or maybe it is. I can't remember, and I cannot remember. It was Garden Party, maybe. These stamps are Pink Paisley. They're from Fifth and Monaco collection. Again, they came in a kit. I've not used them yet, and discovered that my Stays On ink pad seems to be a bit dry, so I'm going to have to either get a new one, or I think you can get stuff that like re-inks it. I'm not sure, so I will have to have a look. But I was like, oh, it's been in my stash obviously for a while, but it worked for the most part on getting these stamps on the page, which were good. As I said, trying to use up bits and pieces that I haven't used from kits that I had lying around, and just trying to use some, I guess, techniques. So stamping is one that I have a lot of stamps, but I never seem to use them. So I'm sure I am not the only one there. But yes, it's definitely one thing in my stash I don't use a lot. And I even though I have them, I had my stamps placed on my desk at one stage so that I would use them, and I still didn't use them. So I've moved them off my desk, and hopefully maybe then I will remember to use them. Maybe do a bit of like grab fives or something like that, just to get them happening, get the dust off them. I think when I picked up my stamps, there was like a layer of dust on them. That's how long it's been. Alright, so now I'm looking at my title, and I'm actually pulling out a box of, these are all my like word stickers, and I wanted to try and again use them up because they're just sitting on my shelf and they're not being used, so I was trying to be really mindful of that. I don't end up using anything from the box. I had a stash of these sitting on my desk because I'd just gone through all of my paper collection and kits and split them all up and into colour order and themes and stuff like that, so that way maybe they'll be a bit easier to find. I seem to scrap more by colour than I do by collection at times. There's a few key collections that I do keep together. But yeah, it was good to resort my papers out a bit. Oh, that's right. I wanted a wood grain thicker to make the title as well, but those ones, which would have been perfect, I thought, I didn't have all the letters for, so I had to go back and find something else. So I've just gone off to my big box of stickers, and I will pull out ones that I don't actually think had even been opened, or like are pretty much intact. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's give these a whirl. You'll see them in a minute. I don't even know where they came from. They might have again come in an old kit. Yeah. So I hope everyone is doing well. The world we live in at the moment is a crazy place. I am in Canberra, so we've been blessed being in our little bubble away from things like the pandemic as such. But unfortunately, I've got a lot of family who are in New South Wales that are struggling a bit at the moment with lockdowns and things like that. So it's crazy. Just when you think it's on track and we've got a new normal, there's a new normal appears again. So anyone who is in a state that's locked down or a country that's locked down, keep well. I hope you're looking after yourself and your loved ones. And maybe in your lockdown you are getting some free time to scrap. But yeah. Now I am, as I said, these thickers are older. I don't know. I think they came in a kit. I'm not 100% sure. So they're green and they've got little flowers and stuff. So I thought they were perfect for the theme of this layout as well. But as you can see, I'm using my wet glue. They've been in my stash, I know, for a while. The background, as I said, has the gesso on it. So I really wanted to make sure that they stick. I've had a lot of pages going back through albums where the adhesive on particularly thickers have come like worn away, so they've started to pop off and I've had to re-stick things down. So yeah, just making sure that it is really adhered to my page. And yeah, using this beautiful gold just to tie in a bit more of the gold there, and to make my title Nature's Beauty, which, yeah, as I said, I was really happy with the way this page ended up coming together. It just came together, which is great considering it's been a while since I really, especially sat in front of a camera and scrapped. So I hope you enjoy this video. And as I said, I have an art journal one. I've just got to edit it and voice over it, which I'll try and do this weekend and have it up next week. Let me know if there's anything in particular you would like to see back from me. I will try and get some videos up maybe once a week if I can, if not a bit more. Definitely making some time these days for some creativity. It's definitely needed. I think I did this in my art journal page. I think I had like an hour free to myself before, I think, last weekend. And yeah, I managed to get this in my art journal page done, which I was really happy with. It certainly gives you a nice little kick. Now this stamp didn't work as well. I don't know if again it's because the ink pad is not working, but I'm just went with it, and you know, if I didn't like it, I figured I could just cover it up. Why not? That's a good rule to have. So I have, as you can see, that main cluster around the right hand side going to the bottom. That's sort of the big cluster, and then I wanted to do something a little bit to balance it out at the top so it wasn't so bottom heavy. But I don't think I added too many more embellishments. Oh yes, I do. I think I add two more, like two really big flowers that I think are they're from my June kit, Kitaholic Kits, and I think they're part of a Paige Evans, I think the Wonder collection, maybe. I apologise if you do want to know the collection, just leave me a comment and I will have a look, but I'm pretty certain that's where they're from, or they're from the Vicky Bruton Colour Study. Can't remember. There you go. So this one I have popped up on some craft foam as well, just to give a bit more dimension to the page as well, just to lift it with the photo. What else am I doing? Oh, I add some journaling using a little tab. Oh, sorry, a little label. I never seem to use labels. Does anyone else have like a massive stash of labels? I have so many, even to the point that some months I won't print off for the printables for my kits the label page because I just have so many. Yeah. I've even used them at home to label things around the house because it's just I just got them. I need to use them up. What's one thing in your stash you seem to be able to accumulate and not use quick enough? Me, it's labels, I think. Definitely labels. And there, my page is complete. I do hope you've enjoyed this process video. I do have some close-ups at the end. Please, give a thumbs up, and if you've got any comments, leave them below. And I will see you very soon with my art journaling page. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.